What's good? What's good? What's good? Welcome back to another edition, another episode, another rendition of the Linc Up featuring Symone Stanley, Lord Brunson, and yours truly, Tone DeShields II from Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. Always grateful to be in the presence of you beautiful people. Y'all know what your job is. Get comfortable, kick your feet up, smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to all of our YouTube channels. Subscribe to Symone with the Sports. Subscribe to Lord Brunson. Subscribe to Chalk It Up Sports. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the Linc Up YouTube channel. And it's straight like that. LB, Symone, talk to me. How y'all feeling?
I'm cool. And somebody in the comments talking about something. I'm on the ground with the streams, bro. This is like my fourth joint in like 24 hours.
You fourth is what? Stream?
Yeah, it's like my fourth stream. I did 2 yesterday.
With who? I saw the friends.
I did the Super Friends joint yesterday, and I did one with Philly Mike, Tuck, and Rome.
Who Rome?
CFT. Cowboys Fan Talk.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know when you see him. If you see him, okay, I've seen him before.
No, I've seen CFT.
Okay.
But cool. Yes. We just
man. You know what I'm saying?
Vibing. I just woke up from a nap.
Yeah, you've been out, man. You've been jet setting. You've been interviewing WNBA players. You've been out.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going right back outside after this. Y'all gonna see online.
I saw you on the sideline. I think you and one of the girls went to the same school.
South Carolina, right?
Wolfpack, North Carolina.
Right. North Carolina.
Talk about something. That's my alma mater. I'm like reporter Symone. Reporter Symone is so funny, man. She be in her bag. Like it's 2 different people. That shit is professional and classy.
She be fighting that fandom though. She be fighting it.
I bet you she do. She was like, "That's my alma mater." I'm like, "Look at Symone. Symone been doing this shit for 30 years." It looked like.
I didn't even say it like that.
I couldn't do it. Let me get up there, and then I'm talking to AJ. That should be like, yeah.
I said alma mater.
Getting into after this, Arthur Wine. I fucked the whole interview up.
Come on, man, Arthur Wine. You funny. Man, but no, we got a lot to get into. The team is back. OTAs is in full effect. Everybody back in the city. Everybody back to the grind. And, they got to defend it. They got to defend that Super Bowl title. They got to defend their right. And, it's some narratives. It's some storylines out there that we gotta tap into. The new OC, Kevin Patullo, the position battles, right? At corner, at right guard, at safety, at edge. Health updates when Nakobe Dean, Jahir Campbell, Jurgens, and those guys. Free agents, rookies, and most recently, Bryce Huff. And we can start there. Bryce Huff, it's been reported that he's been a no-show to essentially all the offseason activities. Now, I don't know how true that is, but it's been reported by, I believe, Jeff McClain from the Enquirer. He's pretty reputable, but what's your thoughts on the Bryce Huff situation? For me, at least, I've always been kind of on the fence about whether or not he's going to be on this team come week 1. I also feel like it's hard to come back from what he's been through the previous season. Yeah, he got the money, but to be unplayable in the playoffs, to come to the Super Bowl dressed in a sweatsuit, eating sunflower seeds, and drinking Gatorade in the sideline, you ain't even playing. It's hard to come back from that, even with the money in your pocket. So I want to get y'all thoughts on the Bryce Huff situation.
He was there in a sweatsuit eating sunflower seeds? I didn't know he was there,
bro.
He was there.
He was a healthy scratch. He didn't dress for the game.
You talking about yesterday?
For the Super Bowl?
Bryce.
I thought you meant at practice. Okay.
Yeah, man, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to come back from that, man. It's hard to come back for that. When they don't even dress you in a Super Bowl, and we had garbage time minutes, he could have at least been able to log a snap. And like, you know what I'm saying? Damn, show his kids, yeah, I actually touched the grass and some. I was in from 39 seconds to the clock 1-0. You actually, you know what I mean? Something to be a healthy scratch in a Super Bowl is crazy, man. And I would feel betrayed. But at the same time, I would still be going to these activities getting my money. Like they already showed you what they think of you. So why not continue to get better? You know what I'm saying? Why handle it this way? Because the other teams is watching.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for him to get scooped up too, because like you said, he ain't logging no snaps, and then he ain't logging no good attitude points. So it's just like he making it hard for us to want him, and he making it hard for another team to want him. I don't get what happened. Like the Bryce Huff situation, like I don't get what happened. Like I get he had a down year. I get he wasn't coming along last season, but I thought it was just gonna be like one of them simple things where, you know, he's still young. The season before he had 10 sacks. Like he could have parlayed this. Excuse me, my lunch. He could have parlayed this into.
Say thank you.
Yes.
He could have that lunch.
Say thank you.
I said thank you.
Okay, that's what make sure.
You're welcome. He could have parlayed that into something. You know what I mean? Like he didn't have to go downhill so fast if he just acted right.
Yeah, it's bad, man. It's bad, man. It's giving a Hassan Reddick trajectory. Honestly, speaking of that guy, I think this is his last rodeo.
He went out sad, boy. No reason.
He about to be out the league.
Why is he not showing up?
The common denominator is he just watched his team that he wanted to stay with win the bowl. But if you wanted to win the bowl with us, you could have just took a less of a bag.
But the Bucks gave him bread, bro. He got like 17 mil in that 1 year deal. Like, why you got an attitude now?
They gave him
he got 10 plus mil. It's between 14 and 17 mil, but he got a bag for a 1 year deal.
I think Hassan, then that's a good fit too for the Bucks.
Exactly. It's like you gonna make the playoffs next season.
That's a good fit. But I think
wow. He not at OTAs for the Bucks. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
he didn't show up. I think his situation is more so of, I think it might just be a personal issue. Because I just can't fathom him doing that. Because why would you sign a contract and go there?
Yeah, they gave him $14 million.
Yeah, I think his situation is a little different, you know. But we know what's up with Bryce Huff. Now, Bryce Huff ain't losing no money yet. Because is this mandatory?
Not yet. He's guaranteed. No, OTAs aren't technically mandatory, but he's already guaranteed $16.75 million this year, so that money's in the bank already. Any money he loses is the money that he's not guaranteed.
No, he could void some of that money this year if he don't join in the mandatory portion of camp. Okay. They fine you for that. So if you don't join into the mandatory portion, then you lose some of that bread.
Okay, yes, that's a good point. They do fine you. They fine you, so technically you are losing the money. That's a good point. What do y'all say? What do y'all say to the notion that maybe the Eagles are saying, "Hey, we're about to move you. Stay home. Don't get hurt. We're about to move you."
That could be the case because you're not losing no money.
You talking about with Bryce?
Yes, with Bryce. Sorry about that.
I don't know, bro, because it's giving he moving kind of with a little attitude. Like
it's giving moody, ain't it?
Yeah, it's giving a little attitude. You know what I mean? Like it's not giving like Bradbury. Like Bradbury, like they had like Bradbury had to understand, but he was still cool. He was still vibing. He was still being him. He was still showing up. He was still showing up. He still had a good attitude. You know what I mean? He still had to pray. Lit. You know what I'm saying? Bryce is giving a little different. Remember early in the season, he deleted everything Eagles off his page. Like, I don't think it's the same. I don't think it's a smooth situation. I think it's a little stank.
To your point, there's a play I remember vividly when they recovered that strip sack or recovered that fumble against the Cowboys the first time we played them in Dallas. When the Eagles recovered that fumble, he was nowhere to be found with the team celebrating. Everybody ran it. You know how when the teams get a turnover, they all run to the opposite end zone. And they start celebrating all that. Mm-hmm. He walked the other way. I mean, he was near the action. He completely just walked back to the sideline, then celebrate with the guys. Yeah, Bryce Huff, yeah. Then celebrate with the guys, didn't vibe with the guys. It just, he's since the beginning to me, he's always looked like somebody who was struggling to fit in or struggling to really just buy into his circumstances. He never looked truly happy to be where he was. And that it could just be his face. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know him. It could just be his face. But body language says a lot. Where you are when people are celebrating says a lot. He just never really seemed to fit in.
Yeah, he young, man. And, I think he's going to end up going somewhere in the division, to be honest. And that ain't what I want because Bryce Huff do got some game. He just ain't fit where we had.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
he do got some game.
Bro, you had 10 sacks the season before. Like, that's not a fluke. You know what I mean? Like, you come into a new system, it just might not work right away. Like, so he could have went somewhere. That's what I'm saying. Like, he could still go somewhere and he could still stay here and be somebody. Like, Even if he stay on this roster, if things go right, like he could have a bounce back year with us. Like
he can't stay here. He can't stay here. He gotta go.
Why can't he stay here?
He can't stay here because it's he don't fit the system. You know what I mean? He not fitting the system. That has to be the issue. He's not fitting the system. He's not grasping the concepts. He's not doing what he was brought in here to do. That's why he ain't getting no playing time. Now I'm not saying that he can't learn what he's supposed to do, but it's already looking ugly. Like, bro,
I'm saying in the event that we don't get a trade partner, like obviously we trying to get rid of him, but I'm saying if we can't,
no, he gonna get cut. He gonna get cut. He probably be a post-June cut. We probably gotta eat some of that. He gonna get cut though.
Yeah, so it's interesting because when the season started, they had him rushing from a stand-up position, from a 2-point stance.
Right.
But when you look at his film with the Jets, he's always rushed from a 3-point or a 4-point stance. He's always had his hand in the dirt. That's how he get that momentum, that leverage. Whenever you saw him rushing from a 2-point stance, he clearly struggled to get. He clearly struggled to connect speed to power. He struggled to get around tight ends. He struggled to get that burst. The moment Fangio allowed him to start putting his hands back into the dirt, you saw the snowball starting to get bigger. And then he got hurt. And then that kind of offset his trajectory as well. And then when he came back, at that point, Jalen Hunt starting to get more snaps. Nolan Smith is coming along. Josh Sweat is doing his thing. And eventually it just became a 3-man rotation. And I agree with you. I do believe Bryce Huff does have game. He just has to be used in the best way possible. And I think Fangio realized that. But I think ultimately, just based off of the moves they made in the offseason, they've prepped themselves to move on from this man. They prepped themselves. They signed Azeez Ojulari. They brought in Josh Uche. They drafted Antoine Powell-Ryanland out of Virginia Tech. They drafted Jahai Campbell, who's capable of rushing off the edge. All these guys have capabilities of not only rushing the passer, but also rushing without putting their hand in the dirt. So, it's unfortunately they thought Bryce Huff can take his game to another level by being able to rush out of a 2-point stance. But as of right now, he's only able to really rush out of that 3-point or 4-point stance, which kind of doesn't make you as versatile. And that's kind of what Fangio's defense is predicated on, being versatile.
Yeah. He and shorter sentiments, he just ain't fitting the mold over here. I think he got to go because I firmly believe that Jalen Hunt is about to have a breakout year. I think Jalen.
I'm with you on that. Did you see his press conference? I'm with you on that.
I didn't see it. I didn't see his press conference. What
he talking
about?
He was talking about how, for one, the biggest thing he learned from the 2024 run is how to follow. Right. He was glued to BG. He studied BG. He studied his vets. He listened to his vets when they spoke. He really learned how to follow, and he really learned how to develop his preparation. And he said going into this offseason, the 2025 offseason, his main focus has been technique and defining his pass rush plan and skill set, because he said the one thing he learned from BG is there's a difference between your pass rush bag versus your pass rush plan. He said you want your bag to be deep, but at the same time, everything in your bag not going to work against this person. So you got to have to develop plans against each individual person you go up against throughout the season. So he was breaking down how his goal is to define his pass rush plan based off the matchups he has. And he's just been really defining his technique, because he knows if you last in his league, all the best guys in his league, their technique is out of this world. So to your point, I think he's ready to I think he's going to have a crazy jump. He said he's been working on power and really working on technique, just getting stronger in technique.
Yeah, and I don't want to hinder that by keeping around a guy like Bryce Huff when you already added Azeez Ojulari and Uche, you know what I mean, who also are capable of really having, like, we have a lot of pass rushers that's capable of getting a 10-sack season on this roster. Yeah. A lot of guys, including Nolan Smith. So I just think it's time to close the chapter on this man. He could take the ring or not. That's what it, he could take the ring or not, but I wouldn't want to take no ring if they didn't even let me dress.
Listen, you got a ring and $34 million in the bank. You better take that ring.
Yeah, you can take the ring. Yeah,
take that ring, man.
But
go ahead, Mo. No, it's fine. Go ahead.
No, because it's a wrap. It's a wrap on her.
Yeah, we could put it. We could put it. We could I'm pass.
Get him out of here.
Oh man.
Yeah, bro.
Respectfully.
But speaking of these young guys, right? But you brought up Jalix Hunt. It's some young guys we're looking at. You know, they coming into year 2, guys entering year 3. You know, OTAs.
Yo, time flying, bro.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Quinyon and Coop, not the Rooks.
They're not the Rooks.
You know
They're
what's so
OGs.
crazy?
They the vets.
I feel like they always gonna be the Rooks. You know what I mean? Like, you know, Mama always the babies. Like that Super Bowl year, they always the Rooks.
But you know what's so crazy about it though? Going through a run like that, it ages you in a good way. You know what I mean? Like I'm watching a press conferences from a year ago and the interviews from a year ago and watching them now. There's a certain air around them that's a little different. I don't know if y'all sense it, but Coop and Quinyon, even Jalix, you know, in their interviews, like there's an energy, there's an aura that's a little different around them now. But I think they also understand what they're capable of and what success looks like. And I think it's always good for guys to experience that early. But yeah, you got young guys who got a lot of pressure on them coming into this year. One guy in particular, and this gets into the position battle conversation, Keely Ringo. Keely Ringo is a guy who some people still are high on, some people are kind of lukewarm on. And the reality is Keely is battling for that CB2 spot. And the Eagles have given him a clear runway to be able to go get that spot. Position battles and OTAs are underway. We're going to see how it plays out. But what's your thoughts on all the key position battles going on right now with the young guys? Like I said, at CB2, you got right guard Tyler Steen, got to battle with guys like Trevor Keegan and some of them new guys that came in. The Andrew Makuba versus Sidney Brown conversation that we talked about a while back. And then the edge competition is not getting talked about enough. Uche, Hunt, Ojulari. It's a lot of guys that's competing for reps. And I think it's going to be exciting because all it does is create an environment of competitiveness. And you brought in a lot of guys that didn't experience that success before. So now they want to get to that rooftop with you.
Right, that makes sense, man. So in terms of CB2, for me, I think you need to go get a veteran cornerback. I don't care what nobody say, bro. You need to go get you a veteran cornerback that can tackle, a veteran cornerback that can teach these guys something and things like that. Because if you're looking for Quinyon Mitchell to be your best cornerback, that's not a bad spot to be in. But this is his second year.
Mm-hmm.
This is his second year. You know what I mean? He's still learning how to be a pro and stuff like that himself. So I think you need to go get a veteran cornerback who's been around the block. You know what I mean? I'm not sold on Keely Ringo. The hips is real stiff. You know what I mean? I got a video coming out right now. He need to get like Shakira. Hips don't lie. He need to take some ballroom dances or something. The hips is real stiff. You know what I mean? And the drill that I seen from OTAs that I'm gonna talk about in my next video, him and Quinyon Mitchell backpedaling and turning together, and you could see the difference. They're like in the same clip. And you could like clearly see what fluid hip movement look like and what stiff hip movement look like. Stiff hips as a cornerback, that will get you cooked on a double move. That will get you cooked on a double move in the National Football League. So I think you need a vet. I like Keely as a rotational guy, but you need a vet. Sidney Brown has zero technique. You know what I mean? I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Yeah, we won the bowl. But now we asking guys who are supposed to be on special teams to play prominent roles now. You know what I mean? Sidney Brown, he has no technique. Sidney Brown takes really, really bad angles. But if Sidney Brown hits you, it's going to make some noise because the pads going to collide. But he got to make a good angle, though, to do it. He's a crash dummy. Sidney Brown is what is it? A gunner. Run up and down the field on punt return. Now you're a gunner. There's nothing wrong with that. We need a good gunner. Sidney Brown's made plays being a gunner in the punt return game, I believe.
Yeah, had something specific happened that shifted your opinion on Sidney and Keely, or have you always felt this way? It's just kind of just been snowballing.
What happened was the possibility of both of them starting. Now Sidney been hurt, so I'll give Sidney a little grace.
Okay.
But Keely had a fair shot to win a job last year. You know what I mean? He had a fair shot to win the reps that Isaiah Rodgers was getting last year. So Isaiah Rodgers is that much better than him? We only seen Keely when Isaiah Rodgers was hurt.
So that was the moment for you. It was when Isaiah Rodgers clearly showed that he had more. He earned the trust of Fangio versus Keely. That was
the moment for me right there, because if he had trust and he played some snaps, or he started a couple times, or he got more reps in the game than Isaiah Rodgers did, then I would say, okay, it's a legitimate A and B conversation here.
Right.
But we just went straight with one guy. Sidney Brown, he just been hurt a lot. You know what I mean? And then you lose Gardner Johnson again, and we wasn't the same defense when we lost CJ. So it's like, I don't trust Sidney Brown to be that guy. Tyler Steen gonna win that job. I think Tyler Steen is safe. But those are, we don't talk about the linebacker position enough either.
Yeah.
Who's going to be opposite of Zach Bond?
That's a good question, because N'Kobe's hurt and Jahai Campbell's hurt, and you would think those would be your top two guys in that conversation. And you would think N'Kobe would have the leg up if he was healthy because of the experience and the chemistry him and Bond built up. But because both of them are hurt, now you look at Trotter and Symone Stanley and say, okay, you got a second-year guy in Trotter, you got a rookie in Symone Stanley, who are your only two healthy linebackers that play that role. That's going to be something to watch. That's a good point, LB.
But I do think that Trotter will listen to Bond, and I think you'll see the best version of Trotter playing next to Bond. You know what I mean? Bond is that kind of vet. You will see him bring Bond. Like you see, N'Kobe Dean game went to another level playing with Zach Bond.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? Them just the facts. I know health took a big toll into that, but I think Trotter Jr. playing next to Zach Bond, you'll see the best. Mondon, he not gonna do it. I want Jahai Campbell to be.
Bond made Oren Burks look good. Like that's Bond got Oren paid. He got Burks paid.
He got Oren paid. Bro, I was hurt about that. We talked about that. I said Oren Burks was one guy that you should have paid. He got nothing. He ain't make no bag like that. Oren Burks is one guy that we should have paid. But I'm cool with the linebacker situation because I know Zach Bond is going to be there, the guy the ship right or wrong. But man, I saw Jahai Campbell walking next to N'Kobe Dean. Bruh. Jahai Campbell is a freak of nature.
You talking about
I didn't know he was that big. He was walking next to N'Kobe Dean. I did not know he was that big. Yo.
He made Dean look like me. Like
I did not know he was that big, man.
Right.
I just didn't know it, man. But Makuba, I think, is day one. So I don't think it's really too much competition. I think Makuba is just good. I also feel the same way about Ty Robinson. Like those guys are going to get meaningful minutes from the rip.
I'm with you on Steen. I'm with you at safety. I feel like at corner, though, it's early, but I feel like Ringo, like the signs is blinking Ringo right now. Like it's given, they think Ringo's ready right now. I definitely see the competition in every other spot, but I feel like, I don't know. I feel like they think Ringo ready because, just the way that we approached the offseason, knowing the internal options we had and the fact that it looked like they giving Ringo the runway. But so Symone, I was confused by that last year because Ringo was getting all the preseason reps and he looked good. But we had he still had the competition in the room. It was still the internal competition. It was still Ringo, Isaiah Rodgers, Bradbury, whoever else was in the building. Like he was still only competing with internal competition. And right now, looking at the internal competition, he got the runway. You know what I mean? It's not like we brought in Isaiah Rodgers at the buzzer. Like his competition was already in-house. So the fact that we didn't bring in any legit competition outside of Adoree, who is getting those reps with him so far, it's the Dory or Ringo. But I think linebacker did get very interesting very fast. I didn't know Jahad was hurt. I thought Jahad was good to go. Like,
no, they saying that's why he slid. He had a shoulder.
No, I thought he was hurt like a few weeks before. I didn't know he was hurt at this moment. Like, I thought he had got hurt a few months before the draft or like towards the end of the season. I didn't know at this very moment.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I thought he was like recently had got hurt and then came back, but now I got to show them I'm good. You know what I mean? I didn't know he was still recovering. So that's gonna be interesting. Because I thought it just Jahad jump right in, come right in and sit right now. You know what I mean?
The crazy thing is crazy. But I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. But no, that was what I was saying.
No, to your point about the Ringo thing, right? It's interesting because I've been and we could bring Cooper DeJean in the conversation because a lot of people there is a section of the fan base who believes Cooper DeJean should be put on the outside, right? And so far through OTAs, there have been scenarios where they've experimented with putting Cooper on the outside. Quinyon and Coop have been your starting corners, left and right corners, and Ringo and Ricks have been the second team guys, right? That's been happening through OTAs. That has happened. But I still stand firmly in my stance that Cooper DeJean is going to be playing that nickel when the season starts. That's what I think.
So I think when you see Cooper DeJean on the outside and OTAs, I think that's more so a teaching point for the newer people because they're only putting him out there in base defense. We don't even
that part. That's a very good point. I'm glad you said that.
So
it's only in base.
Yeah, it's only in base. So it's like an example because people got to learn the playbook and Cooper knows it. Right. You know what I mean? So they probably putting Cooper out there, you know what I mean, just in base situations to say, hey, this is where you should line up. You should be looking like Cooper DeJean. But moving Cooper DeJean to the outside, I don't think he's going to be sweet out there at all. But I just know he's all pro in the inside.
Yeah. That part. And if you really look at Cooper DeJean, physically, he built for the slot. If you really just look at his physique, how he moves, he's a big dude. And he's built for a guy that can not only play in coverage, but can also,
run support.
Playing run support, get busy in traffic. Like it's all the best plays that he's made, everything that we know and love him for only can occur if he's in the slot. Yeah. Being able to and these OCs and these quarterbacks, these receivers, they moving these wide receivers around. You got guys like CeeDee Lamb and Amon-Ra St. Brown who eats in the slot. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of guys in this league who are going crazy in the slot. You got to have guys in there that can actually cover. And having Zach Bond and Cooper DeJean in the slot completely altered the way we saw the Eagles defense. For years, we've complained about the middle of the defense being a liability for the Eagles for years.
The defense went number one when we made that change after the Bucs game, I believe.
Absolutely. It's a fact.
As soon as we said, hey, Cooper DeJean need to go jump in the slot, we was number one defense moving forward.
You're so right. So it's going to be interesting to see how the cornerback battle plays out, especially, again, Cooper DeJean being the experimentation with seeing him on the outside versus the inside, Keely Ringo versus Adoree Jackson and Eli Ricks. Are we talking about Eli Ricks enough? Is this a season where he takes it to another level? We don't know, but
I don't think he's gonna make the roster.
Who?
I don't think Eli Ricks making the roster.
Yeah, because people keep saying Eli Ricks. Don't forget. I'm like.
And Matt McWilliams, the rookie they drafted out of UCF, the corner, they brought him in. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But overall, though, you said something, LB, that you would like them to go get another veteran at corner. OTAs is that time where they really start to really see, okay, we need to fix this here. Like, you know what I mean? They really look at the roster and say, all right, we got guys on the field now. This ain't going to work. And you'll start to see move. We've seen the Eagles make moves in July, August, and make a last-minute move and ended up working out in their favor. Steven Nelson, remember that move? GJ move. All those moves, I think, occurred in late July, August, or something like that, like a week or two before the season started. So can't put it past this team at all. Just moving the comment. I'm sorry.
So, what's interesting, one last thing about cornerbacks is Quinyon Mitchell said that he's playing all over the field. So this is an indication that he's going to be traveling with the other team's number one. You know what I mean? And that could alleviate some pressure on whoever the CB2 is. You know what I mean? Because if Quinyon traveling, then you will always be on the number two guy if you Ringo or whoever it's going to be.
Traveling is always funny to me because a lot of people hold that against corners if they don't travel.
Right.
And my mindset is if you're in a system that doesn't either require you to travel or if your DC doesn't, if it's like for Fangio's scheme is really not designed for guys to travel because he's playing his own a lot. It's really not designed for you to travel like that. But people try to hold that against corners, which is weird to me. And also when you play opposite a guy like a Slay, why would I travel? I don't have to. You get what I'm saying? We got two top 15 corners on both sides of this field. Why would I?
But it's not. But also at the same time, it's not a lot of traveling that got to be done though for Q because he don't have to travel to the slot.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you line up at the X and then you motion CeeDee Lamb to the slot, he gonna run right into Cooper DeJean. You know what I mean? So Q could stay there. Yeah, Q could stay where he at. But but sometimes you still do want to travel when you play in zone, so you don't let them know you playing zone. You know what I mean? Because when you don't travel, you give up that you playing man.
Yeah. So or it's a situation where go ahead.
So if you don't travel, you give up that you playing zone. when you travel, you give the appearance that you're playing man. That's why teams use motion. See, if you're gonna follow me, then you got to be playing man. But if you know the playbook, and if you're traveling, you know what you're supposed to do in the zone on both sides, then you know that could confuse the defense. So it's a lot of ways to skin the cat, man. I don't want Ringo to be a liability.
Yeah.
So maybe he's ready, maybe he's not.
Yeah. He brings a lot of athleticism and size to the position. He's somebody that I really want to work, because if Ringo can become the guy, not only does that help the Eagles on the field, it helps them in the front office. Like you don't have to spend extra assets to try to fix that position. Like it just makes things better for everybody on and off the field if Ringo wins. So that's why I want people to really pull for Ringo, because that's something that can help the Eagles in the long run financially. He's on a rookie deal. If Ringo can prove to be starting quality, nobody asking him to be top 10, top 5. Nobody asking for that. If he can be starter quality in this league, next to Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean and those safeties, that's good enough for me, and that helps you out in the long run on and off the football field. So we should all definitely be pulling for Ringo without a doubt.
It's just so like crazy the way Slay played last year. It's like the way he was balling out of control last season.
He had a good season last year, yo. He did.
He was playing so well that it's like
he gave us his best that year.
Yeah, people like I don't like when people disrespect. Slay get a lot of disrespect, and I personally feel like
I saw a tweet yesterday. It was like Steelers corner Slay. I was like, God, he gone, bro. I'm talking about Steelers corner Slay. My heart.
Yeah,
he went to a team that don't have no quarterback. They about to not go to the playoffs.
Honestly, Slay went there for two reasons. He went there because obviously they paid him the money he wanted, but also, his family got roots in the PA now. He ain't trying to go too far. He ain't trying.
Pittsburgh far as hell.
But it's Pittsburgh or what? Green Bay. You know what I'm saying? Or like you still in PA, you ain't gotta uproot your family too much. You know what I mean? So I think he went there for that. I think he noticed that this is the last hurrah. He trying to make sure his last season is smooth in terms of just family and not having to do all that travel and uprooting your family. That's what I think.
I've been to Pittsburgh. I was in Pittsburgh last year. Jen ain't gonna like it. It's a little slower. It's slow.
I personally don't like Pittsburgh as a city. I don't. I went to college out there.
Oh, what college you went to?
I went to a medium-sized school, California University of PA. It's like an hour from Pittsburgh.
It's like the whole city on a mountaintop or something.
Yeah, no, literally, and it's a bunch of one ways.
Right.
Like
like the whole city on a mountaintop.
Yeah, on like a island. It's like this rock mountain island. It's weird. But no, you're right. You're right. Let's transition to guys health-wise, right? Obviously Nakobe Dean, he's recovering. Jahad Campbell recovering. Cam Jurgens, Landon Dickerson. Remember, they was in the playoffs dealing with some, with a back and a knee injury. Nolan Smith, towards tricep in the Super Bowl, but he was spotted. He was spotted at OTAs with an arm brace.
What?
she like go ahead, pass them. But yeah, like give me your thoughts on just Nolan Smith entering year 3, coming off of the Super Bowl, coming off the tricep surgery, and then guys like Jurgens and Landon Dickerson. A lot of those, Jurgens got paid. Nolan Smith is entering year 3. He's looking to get paid at some point. Dickerson already got his money. Just give me your thoughts on these guys health-wise.
I mean, go ahead, Symone.
First of all, I saw they were talking about Nolan Smith. They were saying at OTAs like how he had the brace on, but like he was still going crazy at OTAs.
Yeah, had the helmet on. He a psycho. He's a psychopath. Right. I'm telling you that.
So that was good. Great. Obviously positive with him. It's still early, so I'm not trying to like be jarred by anybody that's not practicing. I feel like we already know Nakobe Dean's going to miss a good chunk of time, but knowing that Nolan Smith, he's out there already, don't got to be out there. It's voluntary, so like he obviously has to be feeling good. That's a good sign. I didn't realize how many players we had hurt right now until that list came out yesterday, but they were saying, I know Saquon isn't hurt, but like Kevin Patullo saying how Saquon don't even look like he played all that workload last season, like how fresh Saquon looked. So I think that was a positive.
Yeah, they said, man, Saquon is on the craziest regimen, man. They said the trainers be calling him like when he ain't playing, like, yo, just don't run, just stay off your feet. Like they don't make
That's what he
Saquon
said.
do nothing. Yeah,
Yo,
They
he
don't
was
make
on the Gene
Saquon do
podcast.
nothing.
He was on Blinkness with the Gene podcast, and they said, "What's your routine coming off a season like that?" He said, "I'm gonna be honest. I just started running. Like I just started running.
He don't do nothing. He just chilling, walking around, just chilling."
What
Bro,
you mean he just started running? He's saying like he just be cooling?
No,
yeah, like he's intentionally not running.
Oh,
he just started running.
He just be chilling, so that's how he stayed good.
He probably just doing like
Keep it light,
calisthenics, like little stretches and stuff like that. Yeah,
mobility.
So if y'all seen AJ Brown,
AJ, what's up with this? What's up with this nigga, yo? AJ Brown
is having one of the greatest off seasons of a Super Bowl wide receiver I've ever seen.
Bro, I don't care what nobody say about that man. I don't care what nobody said about AJ Brown. That's my wide receiver. I don't care what nobody said.
One of the greatest off seasons ever. From the workout videos that he putting out, going to colleges, speaking to people, getting engaged. He is just having one of the greatest off seasons ever, man. Just simply putting in more and more work. And you need players like this if you're talking about repeating, bro. You need them like this if you're talking about repeating, man. You need people that's obsessed with not having enough. You know what I mean? He's still hungry. You need it. But I've also hearing good things about AJ Dillon.
Yeah.
I'm hearing good things about AJ. They say AJ Dillon
he look healthy. He look healthy.
They say he's looking really, really good. And when you're around the organization, it's banners all in the practice facility. They where they need to be right now. These guys are like, all right, I'm playing on a team that just won the Super Bowl. Like, this team got expectations. This team brought me here because they think that we could win another one. You know what I'm saying? They chorus together. They didn't bring me here to replace Saquon. They brought me here to play with Saquon. That's different.
That's the mentality. You're right.
That's different. And if AJ Dillon is healthy,
scary, y'all.
Jalen Hurts gonna have 1,600 passing yards.
Yo, here's the thing, bro. It's so spooky. It's so spooky because I think coming off of a season like that, and Devontae as well. Devontae's been going crazy in the offseason. He just dropped a new workout video. Yeah, he doing content too. And he been on like a little media run as well. But what makes the AJ Dillon addition so interesting to me? Why is it so interesting to me? Is because the fact that knowing Saquon came off of that season, he had over 500 touches, regular season and playoffs included. That's including rushing and receiving. He had over 500 touches. That's unheard. That's insane. So I think coming into this season, he knows his recovery is going to be important. But I think the Eagles knew if they want Saquon to be the best version of himself, they got to make sure he got a backup. He got a backup running back.
Yeah, 500 touches last year.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, bro. Look at it.
500 is.
He had over 500 touches. Over 500 touches. If Dillon can come in and be the perfect pinch hitter for him, if Dillon can come in every game and give you, depending on how many times they run the ball, let's say Dillon give you 5 to 10 carries a game on the ground, 5 to 10, and he giving you 30, 40 yards of relief, I can roll with that.
I'm cool with Dillon getting about 7 carries a game because AJ Dillon is one of those runners that sometimes you got to feed the hot hand type of situations.
Yeah, he's a volume runner. I give you.
Yeah, you got to feed the hot hand. So if he break one for 8, keep him in the game.
Yeah,
right.
You know what I mean? Keep him in the game type stuff. And
I think they did a good job of that last year with Gainwell. Like when Gainwell was hot, kept feeding him.
And Saquon ain't gonna care. Saquon just ran for his 2,000.
Right.
Yeah. He paid, got his ring, Saquon, offensive player of the year, all pro. He ain't tripping.
Saquon just got to run for 1,200 next year.
Simple as that.
You got to run for 1,200 next year. Let Dillon get about 7.
I think this year we're going to see Saquon being used, and this is me just speculating. This is all guesswork.
In the passing game, I know where you're going.
I think Saquon is going to be way more instrumental in the pass game this year. I think don't be surprised if you see Saquon with, you said 1,200 rushing yards, right? Don't be surprised if he had like 1,100, 1,200 rushing yards, averaging like 5 yards a carry. His carry, but his carries are down though. Like, don't be surprised if he got like 1,200 rushing yards and like 500 receiving, 400 receiving. Don't be surprised because
I would love that.
I really think Patulo, and it's going to take us to our next topic. I think Patulo is going to bring a facet that we've kind of been missing from the passing game from a running back perspective. And one thing I respect about Jalen in that Super Bowl, he was hitting Saquon a lot in the passing game.
Yeah, it's smart football because the way the Chiefs was playing us, it was a lot of one-on-ones for Saquon on the outside. All Saquon got to do is make one guy miss. Mm-hmm. But if the Eagles I've been begging for more running back screens, bro.
Yes.
If you do running back screens with Saquon Barkley, it has the potential to go the distance. Hell yeah, bro. We just didn't do it a lot last year. I ain't complaining because, the end goal was accomplished, but
yeah.
If you do this year, I think we got to be different because everybody looking at the tape from last year.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Everybody looking at the tape from last year. They're going to try to load the box, make Jalen Hurts run, stay out of short yard situation, stay away from the tush push. No, man. And I want to see different variations out of the tush push.
Mm-hmm.
So
the tush push. They be mad.
I'm interested to see what Kevin Patulo going to do.
They be mad when I say tush push.
Let's get into that though. Like Kevin Patulo, he just had his first press conference yesterday, I believe. And me personally, I liked the look. Let's be honest. In these press conferences, we're not going to get but so much from these guys.
Right.
We know that. So I tend to pay attention to how they answer questions, how they respond to questions. Their presence. Do they sound clear and focused and intentional in what they're saying? And I liked what I've seen and what I heard from Kevin Patulo. I really did. He seemed like somebody that has a mission, that has a goal in mind. He's clear. He's focused. He seemed like somebody that's been ready for this opportunity. He said in the conversation, he said, I feel like, because they asked him how was the interview process. He literally said to himself, or he said to the reporters, well, I feel like I've been interviewing. I feel like I've been interviewing for this role since day one, since I got here.
Oh, I like that.
So what's important to realize about Kevin is that he's not just a guy that just walked in the building. He's seen this team experience the ebbs and flows, the highs and the lows. He's seen what happened with Nick Sirianni passing play calling to Shane Steichen and Shane Steichen leaving and Brian Johnson taking over. And then he's seen things go to kill him. He's seen the evolution of all these guys go through these ebbs and flows with this team. I think he knows exactly what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, and where he should put his fingerprints on as far as the offensive scheme and game plan.
I agree, man. He's suited for this, man. He has everything at his disposal. He knows the players. He knows their temperaments. He knows what makes them tick. He knows the best situations to put them in. He already knows the terminology of the older playbook. You know what I mean? So he just got to tweak things and tailor things to him. But, for the most part, a lot of things could very well look the same. And it's easy for him to institute, what he want to do because they've done it already. Like he's a Super Bowl winner. He got a ring. He got a ring. He got a ring for whatever role he had last year. But it's like, now let's do it again. Let's do it again. He knows that he has a prime opportunity to go be a head coach.
He sounds like one. I'm gonna be honest. Like, watch that. If you get a chance, watch his press conference. When I'm listening to him, I'm like, he know where he want to go, and he know this is a prime opportunity for him to get there. He know where he want to go.
If he just look at this like, yo, this is a stepping stone. I'm gonna crush this opportunity, and I'm gonna go be a head coach. Then that's all we need him to do.
He sounds like somebody who's been doing it for a while. Like, there was no question. There was nothing those reporters said to him that threw him off. He seemed prepared in a good way. Sometimes things feel almost like routine. Like, he felt prepared in a good way.
Ready
and he even that part. And he took it a step further, discussing how he got to that point as far as the guys that he learned under, his career trajectory. People, like, if you really look at Kevin Patulo's resume, he's been around for a long time. He not new to this. He's been around for a long time.
Well, yeah, wasn't he with us for both Super Bowls?
Yes, in 2022 and 2024.
Well, obviously last year, but yeah, he was on the staff for the other Super Bowl as well. So
yeah,
he been around this for a long time. He been around Nick for a long time.
That part.
You know what I mean? So he got trust within the organization, trust within the players, and that goes a long way because we didn't just hire somebody that got to come in from town, learn about the city, learn about the culture, learn about the players. No, we hired somebody that we do this in-house, bro.
Mm-hmm.
We did this in-house. Going to go get Kellen Moore, it was kind of necessary coming off of Brian Johnson. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
after winning it all, you could do this within the house, man, because this guy's seen it up close with winning it all looks like.
And when you got a roster like this,
It's easy.
let's be honest, they make it easy for you.
It's easy.
All he kept saying was, my job, put these guys in positions to win. Do whatever they want to do, like put these guys in positions where they can do what they do. Like he just kept reiterating that. And I love that perspective. I know it's simple, but it's a perspective that I feel like some coaches need to adopt more and be more consistent and really lean in. Sometimes it's hard to consistently lean in to what's working because you want to get creative so bad.
Yeah, I agree.
But if it's working, why change it?
But like when you got this offensive line, Saquon Barkley and AJ Dillon, like like you guys got to understand, bro. The combination of Saquon Barkley healthy and AJ Dillon healthy behind this offensive line healthy, like the Eagles might run for 300 yards week 1. Seriously, I'm telling you, the Eagles might run for 300 rushing yards week 1.
Yeah,
the Eagles have no reason to throw the ball against the Cowboys. They don't have a defensive tackle. They have Mozzie Smith. We have no reason to overcomplicate this. Go in there, assert your will, make them bend to it. Then you go over the top of their head with the deep balls.
Yeah,
sure.
And it's a number that we could beat a number of teams on our roster this year that same way. That same way. If we stay healthy with these running backs in this offensive line, Kevin Patullo's job is easy.
Yeah, and to your point, the way things went last year and the way Jalen Hurts just operates in the offense, the Eagles just have to do what they do, and then when it's time to, let it rip in the air, whatever it is, it's going to be there. You got AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert came back. Dallas Goedert actually had his press conference too, and they really got into it as far as the situation with him, Howie, his agent. That was an interesting conversation as well because, he was very transparent about it. He was honest, and he admitted that there was a chance he wasn't coming back.
Yeah,
there was a real chance. He contemplated all the scenarios, and all the scenarios was on the table. Trades, being cut, all that stuff was a real possibility. But he says he ultimately got what he wanted, and then on top of that, he started to reconcile with the notion of actually leaving. And he said openly that I had mixed emotions about if I was to leave. When you leave and go to a new place, you say, okay, it's a new opportunity. You're excited about that, but also you're leaving something that you're used to, and that's still, and you're leaving a situation that you love. He had mixed emotions about it, but he said ultimately, when it came to the conversation, what he loved about it the most was how respectful Howie was to him and his representation. It was so much respect on both sides. That's why he's content with what he got and why he took what he got.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So Dallas Goedert,
I didn't want him to leave for sure.
I feel like that. I think Dallas Goedert, as much as I love AJ Brown, I think Dallas Goedert is the ultimate X factor of this offense.
Yeah.
If Dallas got me personally, I feel like whenever Dallas Goedert is eating, I feel like this offense is unbeatable.
Yeah.
Unbeatable, unstoppable.
I agree, man. I agree. And then it's like, are we prepared to be without him? Like, what was the plan? When I seen we didn't draft a tight end or look at tight ends.
That was scary. That was a little scary.
Yeah. And then his name kept being thrown in the mix. It was like, so we really going to go out here with Grant Calcaterra, who's not bad as a backup, but, the blocking is an issue. Yeah. But, we don't have to relive that, man, because Dallas Goedert is here. This definitely is going to be his last year.
You think so?
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be his last year unless he found a way to take, a smaller deal.
When he says,
I don't think it's got to be his last year.
Symone,
yeah,
I'm glad you said that.
I think they definitely could restructure or make something happen after this year.
I'm glad Symone said that because even in the press conference, he mentioned how his main concern was not and still is not to be the highest paid guy. He just wants things to be fair for both sides. He wants things to work on both sides. Like he genuinely wants to be here. he said, "Listen, I ain't got no ego when it come to this. Being the highest paid guy, that don't mean much to me. Like it's about just making sure we in the room." And I can respect that because he kept saying, you know, I know what I'm worth. They know what I'm worth. You know, we got things done, and we'll see where things go from there. He said I'm focused on this year, and as he should, you know, and the Eagles, as they should, be looking for his future replacement, but they were clearly caught unprepared to move on from him. They had to get the deal done.
They had to get a deal done, man. They had to get a deal done, and we got it done, and we saved $4 million in the process. We saved $4 million in the process. So also, you know, that I feel like that was a blessing in disguise because that gives us $4 million of wiggle room where we can make something happen. It's still a lot of veteran cornerbacks that's available. It's still a lot of linebackers that's available. It's a lot of everything that's available. But when you the Philadelphia Eagles, you really only need one or two things.
Yeah, man. That's the part where even before the draft, I felt like the Eagles were in better position than most teams in the NFL. You lost Sweat, yeah, you lost Milton Williams, you lost Rodgers, you lost Slay, you lost CJ GJ. But I just felt like this team was in a better position than most people. So
what y'all think about Asante Samuel?
Or Asante Samuel Jr.?
He don't like to tackle.
Yeah, I know he make plays, but his mentality, I don't think fits what Vic Fangio wants out of those. If you peep last season, all our DBs could tackle. Now, obviously, Slay is not the one Slay is not a guy we think about when it comes to tackling. But when you surround him with a bunch of guys that tackles well, Quinion tackles well, Cooper tackles well, Reed Blankenship. You know, when you surround him with guys like that, it looks a lot better. You can hide it a little better. So, you know. I just remember Asante Samuel Jr. He did have that season where he was going crazy. Was his rookie year or his second year? He went crazy.
I think it was second, and it was like in the postseason.
Yeah, he went crazy. But I do find it alarming that a team like the Chargers, and their secondary is good, by the way. I find it alarming that they would just let him walk. A guy that young. I just find that weird to me.
Can't tackle, man. That means a lot at this level, man. Can't tackle, can't play press.
Oh, we know very well. All too well.
He just good at jumping routes.
Yeah,
and getting his hand on the ball from time to time.
Yeah,
he's like a weaker version of Ronald Darby.
Damn.
He's like a weaker version of Ronald Darby, bro.
Because Ronald Darby really only gave us like. He wasn't a consistent player. He got hurt. I think it just wasn't.
Yeah, he got hurt, but you know he was good that Super Bowl run.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And then Jalen Mills, he was a guy that was willing tackler, but he was a little inconsistent in coverage.
Right, because he was naturally a safety.
Yeah, he was a safety at LSU, wasn't he?
He was a safety.
Yeah,
and they converted him over.
Yeah,
but he was great at red zone defense, though.
Yeah, he was. Listen, the smaller the area he had to cover, the better.
Yeah, he was great. He was great at red zone defense.
For sure.
Yeah, man.
But I mean, that's pretty much all the topics I had on hand. Was there anything else y'all wanted to tap into? Anything
people wanted to know about that shady situation?
Yeah, okay. I heard about that situation and I watched the video. And when I first saw it, I didn't really pick up on anything. I watched it a couple more times. And I'm like, oh, he said AJ. And look, my whole position is what he's saying. That's not a new revelation. That's not Jalen Hurts specific. And what I mean by that is if an OC gets hired with a team or organization, you're going to assimilate to what that quarterback likes to do. That's not new at all. If you coaching Rodgers, you coaching Brady, Mahomes, all these Lamar Jackson, you go in there to make those guys them and lean into what they do. So I don't like throwing guys' names in it because when you put a name on a bullet, it get a little murky. But in essence of what he said, it's nothing special. There's no revelation about.
He didn't really say nothing wrong. But you running around here telling people what somebody told you. That's the issue. That's the only issue. What he said wasn't an issue at all. Oh, AJ Brown told me, bro. Like, what do you mean? Because you know what they're gonna do with AJ Brown name in the media.
That part.
You know how it's gonna end for AJ Brown, bro. You know.
Yeah.
That's like, what do you mean AJ Brown told you, bro? So this is my stance. This is my honest stance. I respect what all them old heads did when we ain't have nothing but the Campbell soup memes in the trophy case. I respect all that, but these ain't them times right now, bro. We Super Bowl champions. We 2-time Super Bowl champions. So it's like, at this point, bro, if you're not here to just big up the players and the team at all times, you're not an Eagles legend. You're not one of the Eagles OGs. You're not. If your sole mission ain't to big up the young players that we got, then you just not one of them ones, bro. Everybody love coming to the city to come out the tunnel to get the cheers, but then you go on TV and do shit like that.
Me personally, it'd be seeming like, and I don't really watch that show anymore, but it'd be seeming like Shady be having more reverence for the not the Bills, the Bucks and the Chiefs.
Yeah,
he tread more lightly with them. And I understand
he's a hater. He's a hater of Jalen Hurts on the low. Because when it's all going wrong, they blame Jalen Hurts. They all gonna blame Jalen Hurts when it's all going wrong. He shut him up for a couple minutes. They talk about top 5 now, and now it's AJ Brown told me. I just don't like shit like that, man.
Yeah, because AJ Brown, in my opinion, I think people have finally started to accept AJ Brown for who he is. I've always respected AJ Brown for who he was, but I think especially with this offseason run, the way it's been happening and the real conversations AJ's been having, like this offseason, I feel like he's expanded himself beyond just a football player.
And then some of it, then some of it be the player's fault though, because I'm gonna tell you this, bro. Some of it, I know with certainty that they know who a lot of us are, bro. They decide to give their time to some of them guys, bro.
Yeah.
They decide to go on some of them guys' platform and get a time to them, bro. I know for a fact they all know who I am. I don't ask people for interviews or nothing like that, but they all decide to give their time to who they want to give it to, bro. I never see one of them climb down to one of the young content creators and say, I want to make some breaking news on your platform. They go to these networks that stab them in the back all the time, bro.
Which is fascinating to me.
All the time.
And you know, I want to assume AJ told him that as an aside, not like as some story.
Told him within confidence.
Yeah. Like you having the conversation because Shady would come to some of the training camps, come to some of the OTAs or whatever. Like, and there has been moments where AJ and Shady was talking on the sideline. The furthest conversation went that we saw was Shady would ask, "Hey, how much you weigh this season?" And he'd be like, like stuff like that. But yeah, man.
So honestly, I think Shady dropped his name because he didn't see nothing wrong with it. Because there's nothing wrong with what they was talking about. There's nothing wrong about what Shady said at all. The issue is everybody picking it up and making AJ Brown seem like he talking bad about Jalen Hurts.
That part, and that's the part. That's the angle I think you and I are agreeing on, is that
right.
AJ Brown is somebody that the media uses as a way to go at Hurts. They use him.
And AJ Brown probably wasn't talking about him. I'm pretty sure AJ Brown was coming off like, that's Jalen offense. We do with Jalen. Jalen is the franchise quarterback.
Yeah,
nobody would care if anybody was saying that shit about Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers
or Lamar or any quarterback, really.
Yeah, like that's that man offense. Patulo gonna have to get in line and do shit that work around with this man's strengths. He's proven to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that was my thoughts on it.
Yeah. That's the only frustrating thing about it is how, like, and again, when you're talking to somebody in confidence, you're not really hoping that they don't use your name,
right?
But like. It's proven, it's documented. They use AJ as a way to validate their takes on Jalen Hurts. They use it.
They do,
and it's upsetting. But ultimately, I would like to believe that AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts, regardless of what the media says, because AJ is on record saying, I don't have any friends. He's on record saying that on one of his conversations he had, like with the youth and all that. He been on like a media run, and he spoke on just how he looks at friendship different. And I've seen people take that and use it as a way to, him and Jalen really not cool, him and Smitty not cool. And it's like, when somebody
I can say the same thing. A lot of people know me, and there's a lot of people I got love for, but I don't have no friends. You know what I mean? I understand people with that mindset, because a group of people right now in my life
that'll drop everything for me. And that's what you mean. You know, and to your point, I mean, maybe I was trying to finish your sentence, but like, there's not a. I don't know anybody personally that's a friend that would drop everything for me right now. And I think that's how AJ looks at friendship, is like completely going out your way to make sure. Okay. So but yeah, Symone, we appreciate you. Symone gotta dip out. Y'all see she got the power suit on, you know what I mean? So
yeah, she about to make power moves.
Yeah, she about to go make power moves. So Symone, we appreciate you. And we're gonna take you off screen here. So have a good day. Be safe out there. Go make that bacon. You know what I mean? And go make Dylan proud. All right. So but yeah, but you was about to say something.
No, yeah. I look at friendship kind of the same way that AJ Brown looks at friendship, because some people will literally help you if you call them and you in need. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm like so this is how I look at friendship. This might be a weird way. So obviously I live outside of Philadelphia. I don't live in Philadelphia no more. I haven't lived in Philadelphia since like 2009. Actually, I haven't lived in Philadelphia since 2009. So the area that I live in now, outside the DC area, I have not found a group of friends besides my barber. I've not found a group of males that I can consistently hang out with, because I look at you know what I'm saying. I look at things differently, because I'm from where I'm from, and I know those dudes do anything for me. Where I'm from on my block in Philly, I went to the Army. I know those dudes do anything for me because I was in combat with them. These guys out here in the streets, I don't know if they'll go to that extent. You know what I'm saying? So I really can't call you a friend, because I really know people in my life that will literally go to war for me and go to war with me. So you know what I mean? Once you find that group of people that'll do those things for you, it's hard to be like, all right, well, I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna go hang out with such and such trying to catch a game with me. But then if you go to a game and y'all get into a rumble and it's like a 2-on-5,
who are you? Yeah, who are you?
Who are you in that situation?
Yeah.
Who are you in that situation?
Facts.
Because I'm 6'3", like 240. Everybody come for the big man first. I know my position in this. Who are you? Who are you?
Go for the knees. Go for the knees.
Exactly. They're gonna run down on me first. Like, who are you in this situation? You know, maybe that's wrong to look at things, but always look at things for the worst.
I don't think you're wrong, because to your point, now my experience is different. I didn't go to the military, but I went to college, and there's people that I've been through the ringer with in college. I mean, you know, full transparency, you know, I've had legal trouble in college.
They talking about so go get friends, LB.
like full transparency. Like, you know, I keep it funky. Like, I had legal trouble in college. That's a fact. You know what I mean? Having too much fun, you know, getting, you know, in you know, with roommates and guys I love. And it's times where the law said, hey, we can take care of you if you help me take care of him.
Right.
And I'm like, no, whatever you're gonna give me that. I'm cool.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like I've been in real situations. Like I've stood in front of a judge with my homie from college. I say his name right now, my man Fig. Me and him stood in front of a judge, looked at each other and said, how much I need? So like I've been in real situations with people. I know people that I've had real life experiences with that will go to lunch for me. But like you, I moved out of Philly. I moved out of Philly in 2023. I've been living in Texas for 2 years basically. I have yet to find men that I trust or that I rock with down here.
Exactly.
And part of it is intentional. Part of it is like I just don't see myself exposing myself like that or making myself available to people like that.
Exactly. Even in double dating situations, like I know how to be pleasant and amicable around other people.
Right. I'm fun. I'm social, but
right. But if me and the dude exchange numbers, he's talking about, oh, let's have whiskey and a cigar. I don't know if I'm gonna use that, John. I ain't gonna hold you. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm gonna use it. I just don't know. Like it got to be some type of trust factor between men, because men have rules that don't have to be said. You know what I mean? So if I understand, the contract that's signed without having to sign it, then we cool. But I just don't think everybody look at things different. These new guys are different, bro.
Bro, these new guys, bro.
These new guys are different, Tone.
Bro, I grew up, bro. They throw bro around loosely, like my friend. They like, I don't know. Coming up, calling somebody my bro was like very like. You didn't just do that. Bro has become part of the lexicon now.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just how we talk now, which is fine. But I remember when call somebody your bro was like, all right, this is your shit guy for real. You know what I mean? It's it's a different culture we're in, and that's cool and all. But friend, some people take that term very seriously, and all you can do is respect that. So bringing it back to AJ Brown, when he says, I don't really have friends. My teammates. Those. We go to war together. Like those are my guys. Don't get it twisted. But I just view that word differently, right? And I think that's okay. And I think guys like Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith, they don't strike me as the kind of guys that take that personally. They seem like the kind of guys that feel the same way.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Because sometimes when you tell somebody, hey, I'm your friend, and then they do something that you don't expect a friend to do, then that just makes everything sour.
Right.
That makes everything sour because you don't expect a friend to say negative things behind your back. You know what I mean? You don't expect a friend to throw you under the bus, and that stuff happens by people that call you their friend all the time. So you kind of learn to not just hey, I can't get hurt if I don't treat everybody like my friend.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if I don't like if I know you ain't my friend from the jump, then it's really nothing. You're not necessarily an op. You just not my friend. You know what I mean? And then, that's cool though. That's cool. Like, shoot, I'd have made more friends doing content. You know what I mean? Like I consider you a friend. You know what I'm saying? I consider Symone a friend, Law Nation a friend. You know what I mean? I've never seen Law Nation in person before, bro. I've been working with this guy for like 5 years, never seen him in person before. Right. But the text in the game that I get from Law Nation, that's a friend. You know what I'm saying? So it's just how your dynamic is with people, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that though. But all the bullies is my friends. All the supporters, all y'all that constantly watching my content, y'all definitely my friends. Because when I was talking in this car by myself with 3 people watching, you know what I mean?
We gotta be listen. We family at that point.
Yeah. When there was only 3 people watching, when I only had 10 subscribers, like y'all already know the bullies be on a different level. But I'm just talking about in general outside situations, man. But that's definitely all we got, man, for the day.
For sure, man. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. We really appreciate y'all. We do got. Let me get to these super chats real quick, and we out of here. War with the 999. He said we can't trust nothing we see in the OTAs or camp. Quinyon was majority in the sliding camp, but started outside game 1. Devin White took majority at the start of snaps and never played one down for us. That's a fact. War. That's a very good point.
That's a fact. War
very good point. Zamir Jefferson with the 999. He said, "Hey y'all." He said, "Hey y'all. Do you guys think that this can be Jalen Hurts' MVP season? I mean, I'm cool with the Eagles dominating as a team either way, but do you think he gets back in the MVP conversation?" It's funny you say that. Real quick to give you a quick answer. I think now that Super Bowl thing is behind him, and he answered a lot of those kind of questions, there may be a chance we may see I think you said at LB that Jalen Hurts is just entering his prime.
Yeah.
So we could see Jalen Hurts could be one of those guys who was pause a grower, not a shower type shit. You know what I mean? Like get
what?
Get to that point. I tried.
You could have said a late bloomer.
That in my mind, I thought that was the same thing.
It is. No, it's not. It's nowhere near the same thing, but I know what you was getting at though.
Yeah. Oh my God. My point is though, I think Jalen Hurts is just hitting his stride personally. I think Hurts just hitting his stride. So I think this could be a MVP season for the boy. It could be.
I think it's circumstantial, man. I think if God forbid, if it's a situation where the running backs aren't available and he got to throw, then he'll show you an MVP caliber. So it's circumstantial, man.
Right, for sure. Yo, shout out to the chat, yo. One thing I know about the chat, yo, they gone. they on it. They on it. I love it, yo. Yo, my man said, Jesus Christ, Tom. Yo, I love y'all to death. Facts. I love y'all to death. All right, 2 more super chats when we out of here. Alex with $1.99. He says Eagles have 0 tight ends of the contract next season. Yo, facts. We ain't got no tight ends of the contract next season. They better draft 2 of them. They better sign one in free agency. They got to revamp that whole room. Which is
they got to do something. They got to do something. But we good this year though. That's what matters.
Yeah. Alex back again. He said Shady Epps too much. I look at him sideways when he said Pickett or McKee will blow out the Panthers when we barely beat them with Hurts. Yeah, listen.
He a hater, bro.
Listen,
because right then at that point we was questionable as Super Bowl winners.
At that point, the Panthers game.
At that point we was questionable. So you know what I mean. That's how he is, bro.
For sure. So, listen, y'all. We appreciate y'all. We got love for y'all. Yo, I appreciate y'all for really holding me down, man, holding us down, constantly showing up to the Linc Up, man. Shout out to Symone Stanley for always doing great work that she does, man. She out there making the bacon. And LB doing his thing, man, constantly just keeping the content flowing, being the bully on Broad Street. We appreciate him as well.
Make sure you guys. Video to do.
One more?
Yeah, one more. This is a video, though. But see, that's the thing, though. People think I've been everywhere. That's a testament to what we doing because I've only been on the 3 YouTube channels that I run or co-run. The Linc Up, the Super Friends, and my own channel. It's just that's just regular work.
I dig that, man. And it's always dope when the people notice too, when they notice the work. That's always dope too. So, because I've been there. Some people see me on like 3 or 4 streams and like 3 streams in one day before. They's like, damn, so you had your solo, you had this, and you was on somebody else, John. I'm like, yeah, be grinding. So, so yeah, man, we appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Linc Up YouTube channel. Again, make sure you guys subscribe to the Linc Up YouTube channel. Subscribe to Symone Stanley, Symone with the Sports. Subscribe to Laura Brunson, and make sure you're subscribed to Chalk It Up Sports with your boy Tone DeShields II. Where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. You guys have been tuned into the Linc Up. LB, play that song, man.
Play the beat.